the custom pipes. So using the existing pipes and creating our own pipes, that is the approach how to handle. This is all about working with pipes. And pipes main intention is formatting the data, transforming the data. That is the main intention of the pipes, right? Actually, in early days of AngularJS, these pipes are called as filters. We call them as filters. In those filters, additionally, we have filtering, sorting like concepts also. They can filter the data, sort the data. But in Angular, they are no longer available. Then filtering, sorting, we have to design by ourselves. Manually, we need to create them, which I will show you with data. So here the key point is filters in early versions are now known as pipes. In Angular, we call them as pipes. Yeah. So we have two important things discussed, that is components and pipes. Now another very major option is we need to understand Angular services. Actually, service initially alone service is a simple concept, but we use this service later in a lot of integrations. Generally, service is a simple technique, simple method, a simple concept, but we use in different occasions in real world scenarios. That's the reason services have more importance while especially integrating with Angular like server side technologies. So Angular service is a simple thing generally to understand. Actually, technically, a service configures a predefined business logic. A service configures predefined business logic. So it allows reusability. It allows reusability of functions. It allows reusability of functions. Actually, so service is a collection of related type of functions. Service is a collection of related type of functions. In the background, I told you already. So generally, I told you in the beginning. So we have functions. A set of functions are defined in a factory, and a set of factories are defined in a service. So, and in Angular, I told you how this actually works. Angular, generally we have modules, and modules contains a set of functions and values which are injected into services, and we can use them. Some set of functions are stored in a factory, and set of factories are stored in a service. So service is technically a set of functions which we can reuse across applications. So that means you can inject service into any component and use the functionality. That is a simple point. So instead of redesigning, we can just reuse the functionality. There are so many things, means in general. For example, if anyone asks like CAPTCHA, That means you are designing a form and you are creating a registration form. And in a registration form, you need a CAPTCHA. Actually, CAPTCHA is an artificial intelligence program which identifies whether the user is a human or a robot. So because when user is registering, it should prevent robots from registering. So CAPTCHA is a program which verifies the keystrokes, mouse movements, and identifies that you are not a robot and identifies that you are a human. So that means it is an artificial intelligence program. Then you are an after all just front end developer. You are developing a page and designing a form. Then how you will verify whether your page is being used by a robot or a human? You are not a genius in artificial intelligence programming to write such programs and put in your forms every time. Then generally, if anyone asks how you will do then CAPTCHA, then we will say simply like CAPTCHA is a service. This CAPTCHA service is provided by so many third parties. We can go to the third parties, bring that CAPTCHA service and inject into our application. Some are free, some we need to pay. Services freely provided, or sometimes you need to pay for them. Majority services are freely provided and some you need to pay. Depends on from where you are getting it. That means if anybody asks you like, do you know how to write code for CAPTCHA? That's not an appropriate question because we don't write any code for CAPTCHA. We just implement CAPTCHA. What it is a service. For example, CAPTCHA service. It is a service provided by. CAPTCHA service is a service provided by so many people. Like suppose we have Google reCAPTCHA. reCAPTCHA. This is Google reCAPTCHA. This is the Google reCAPTCHA. So this Google provides a CAPTCHA service for you. This is reCAPTCHA. You belong to .NET, you belong to PHP, you belong to JSP, any technology. For every technology, they will provide you the library and code. What you have to do is you have to log in, you have to get the library and inject into your project. And every project have a different syntactical mechanism. Means every technology, Java, .NET, PHP. You just get that relative library, inject and use it. This is Google officially providing CAPTCHA service. So you can use in your applications. Or people even get CAPTCHAs from third parties. So many third parties are there. They will provide CAPTCHA services for you. For example, third parties like Telerik. Telerik is a third party. Now in the Telerik, I go to demos. In the demos, I go to Angular demos, launch UI for Angular. I go to Angular demos. In the Angular demos, you can see so many are there. So many are there. So that means so many options are provided. Actually, these are all like the services given to you. Angular has their official services like which you can inject and use. So they call them as materials, Angular materials. But Angular materials are not enough. They are not enough because we need more than that. Materials are not enough. That's the reason we need to depend on these all third parties. You can see so many components they will provide. You can search for what component you are looking for. And this is a paid source, it's not free. That means we need to buy this library. And companies buy these libraries because what freely we have